Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to today's video. Today is going to be my June reading wrap up. Yes, that is the correct month. I was like, wait, what month was it? What did we just do? I believe I read 8 books, which is kind of surprising because I felt very slow. 3 of them were novella size or less than 200 pages, so there's that. Also, just if it looks like my eyes are a little glassy, it's because I was just listening to My Next Breath by Jeremy Renner. It's my first read for the month of July. Today is the 2nd, and wow, it's very emotional and incredible. So if you haven't read that or listened to it, I would recommend doing the audiobooks. I'm loving the audiobook. There is literally something in my eye. I'm also going to be trying to make this as quick as possible because it is hot AF, and air conditioner noise, we don't like that. So let's go ahead and get started with the first book that I read in the month of June. TBR wise, how did I do? I think I read like half of them. I think I had like 10 books on my TBR. 1, 2, 3, 4. I read 5 of the 10 and I read 8 books total, so not bad. The first book that I read was The One by John Marrs. I will scoot my boot a little bit and put that right here. So yeah, I read The One by John Marrs. It's the first book in the Dark Futures series, which I think they're like they're kind of all standalones, because my friend read the second one. This was our book club book, and she said that you don't really get any resolution to the end of the book, so that kind of makes me a little sad because I want to know what happened to a certain character. But basically this is a book, it's like a near future science fiction-y thriller, I guess, kind of. I think there's a show or maybe a movie, but it is basically like there's this website where you can submit your DNA and you get matched with the one, based on like DNA and heart rate and whatever. And it basically follows 5 different people who took the test and like their lives and stuff, and lots of different things happen. There's a serial killer, there is a like a same-sex type of relationship going on. So I thought it was good. I gave it 4 stars. Maybe a little bit high now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe like more of a 3.5. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. I'm like looking at my notes here. I thought it was good. It was a good book. It wasn't like anything crazy. The chapters were super, super short, which I didn't love personally, because I like to read a chapter and then do something, and then I'll come back and read a chapter until like all my chores and stuff are done. And I wasn't really able to do that with this one because the chapters were so short, but I did like it. I would recommend it, and I think I will read the next one in this series. My friend, I don't know if she's finished the second one yet or not, but she did rate it 5 stars and then immediately start the next one. I don't know how that went though. She just had a baby, so we're not talking about books. Next I read Watermoon. This was a rollover from May. And I wanted to make sure I read this one because on Goodreads there is like a bookmarks that you can collect, and so I had to read 3 books in the month of June to collect all of the like the spring bookmarks, because I like didn't really pay attention to the last minute. But it was AAPI Heritage, and I read this book. I gave this 3 stars. I'm disappointed in it, to be honest. I feel like the author didn't know how to end it. Like there was like a lot going on, and it was a really like fantastical, and the setting was amazing, and I really liked the way like I felt when I read the book, just like thinking about all of the things that they were describing. However, the actual storytelling was not that strong. So it's a beautiful book though. Like I won't reread this, but I'm keeping it because it's stunning, and it has like little instructions actually of how you can turn the cover into a like crane boat, which is a theme, but also like look at the outside of the book. Like, oh, so beautiful. And then the inside has like pictures of the main characters as well, and you like turn them into a paper crane boat, which is really, really cool. I'm not going to do that though, because I like the cover as well as the actual like hardback. Yeah, 3 stars. Not my favorite. I was thinking it's supposed to be like a cozy fantasy, and it was totally very cozy. However, it just wasn't like, the plot was not plotting for me. That's what I'm gonna go with. The next book that I finished was Sidetracked, which is the second book in the Mind F series. This one is like pretty quick. It's like 153-ish pages, 115. And it's a dark romance. It's about a serial killer and an FBI agent, and like they are dating each other but don't know who each other are. She knows that he's an FBI agent who like goes after serial killers, but he's working on a different, more important case right now. But like still her kills are like coming in. It was fine. I'm gonna read the next one this month because it came up in my next in my TBR game to continue a series. But I don't think like it was like that good. I liked the first one a lot more, and I think I liked the first one a lot more because it was like the concept of a serial killer. And now I'm like, over it. And there's another serial killer, and I don't know how I feel about that one. Next, I finished the book The Sirens. This was to also get a bookmark. This was not on my TBR, but again, like, what is with these really beautiful covers? Oh my gosh. Like, stunning. I bought this because I thought the cover was so beautiful, and I know the author who wrote this, Amelia Hart. There was Wayward, came out last year, and people loved that book. The actual book is not as beautiful as Watermoon, but it's still a really good cover, and I loved it, and I think it was really beautiful, and it was set in Australia, which is not something I've read a lot of. I gave this one also 3.5 stars. Again, I didn't have any 5 stars again, you guys. I feel like the Jeremy Renner book I'm reading right now or listening to is probably going to be a 5 stars because like anything that like emits like an emotional response for me deserves like to be 5 stars. But I don't usually rate memoirs, but I'm gonna have to rate this one 5 stars because it's just so good. But yeah, The Sirens, going back to that, it's about a girl who is like has an allergic reaction to water, and it's like a mystery thriller with like sirens and like some mer people and like dreams and sleepwalking, and it's like a fantasy, but like something kind of believable, I guess, kind of. It was good. It wasn't anything incredible though, and I did struggle to finish it, but I thought it was good. It was 3.5 stars. I couldn't even rate it 4 stars because it just felt like there were lots of other books that I prefer over this. It was very atmospheric, and if you like mystery fantasies, like you might like this. The ending was fine. I didn't really see it coming until like a certain point, and you're like, oh, that's what's gonna happen. So I thought it was good. Also, I just want to point out like the pages feel really soft, and I know that's kind of odd to say, but the next one that I read was The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Shoot, you know what? I actually had 4 bookmarks to earn in June. So that's why I read so much. But this was actually on my TBR and ended up satisfying one of the bookmarks, which was the top book from some year. I rated this 3.25 stars. Fun, good time. It's just under 200 pages, I think, like 193 pages. And yeah, it was a good, fun time. Basically, there's an alien, he's stuck on Earth for 15 years, and then hitches a ride with an alien who's destroying the Earth and kidnaps a human to go with him, his friend Arthur. And it's just kind of like their adventures of what happens next. So it was fun. It was a good time. I think I may read the next one. We'll see. I don't know. This was a 25 and 25 book as well, so I'm glad that I finally read it. And it's from 1979, so there's that. But I mean, it was fun. Adventures ensued. The next book that I read was Murder by Memory, which was the last, so it got cut off, but the book that I was about to talk about was Murder by Memory, which was the last book that I needed to read for a Goodreads bookmark, which was the LGBTQIA, etc., book. I read this on my Kindle. It was only about 100 pages, so that's why I'm like, oh, I had about a reading month because I read 8 books, but that one, you know, it's 100 pages. So it was about a woman and her nephew. Her nephew is like this scientist aboard a spaceship. It is a sci-fi, it's a lesbian sci-fi mystery. Okay. And yeah, so basically she's an investigator, but she's been like asleep. So basically what they do is kind of like a Mickey 17 type thing, or Mickey 7 thing, where they take people's memories and then put them into like a library and then upload them to a new body when their old body dies. So they're like on a spaceship headed to somewhere to colonize Earth, or a new Earth or whatever. But people are like, you know, it's been 300 years and they're not there yet. That's how long it takes, apparently. But basically, like, this woman, she's kind of like resting, doesn't have a body at the moment, and you can make that choice. But she's an investigator on the ship of, I think it's like 10,000 people. And she accidentally gets woken up because her book gets destroyed. So they like emergency, like, put her into someone's body. And it turns out that someone is potentially involved in a murder. So basically it's like her investigating that over the 100 pages, and a relationship with the murderer's girlfriend, and like there's just a whole bunch of different relationships that happen within 100 pages, which is kind of cool. There is a fly. Sorry if you see that flying around. There's nothing I can do. It's just a fly. But yeah, it was fine. It was 100 pages, you know, so it was a really quick read, and I literally read it to get the bookmark. If I had had more time or had a little more forethought, I would have probably read something else, specifically Barrier Bones of the Midnight Soil, because I did pick that up last month, but I haven't been able to read that yet. And with the other books that I had on my TBR, I didn't feel like I could really pick that one up. So that was that. I think I gave it 3 stars. It's 100 pages. If it was longer, I think I probably would have liked it more, but it was a good concept. Okay, the next book that I read, number 7, was All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. I gave this 4 stars. It was a very good book. It was 592 pages on my Kindle. And the chapters were very, very short. So there's like over 250 chapters. Another book like that in the same month was kind of hard for me to do. I don't love those types of books, but I sometimes like them, I sometimes don't. It depends on what I'm doing in my life. Like if I'm just sitting there reading, I don't mind like short chapters, but if I'm like trying to like read and do other things, it's a little bit annoying. But basically this book starts when we meet these characters as children. This kid named Patch, he has an eye patch. He was born without an eye. It took me a very long time to figure out why he didn't have an eye, but it kind of just follows his life. He ends up saving a girl from being kidnapped and gets kidnapped himself, is rescued, and then it's kind of the after effects of that, his relationship with the girl he saved, with his best friend Saint, with his mother, with other people in the town. And it's a mystery because, you know, they're trying to find the guy who did it. And then, you know, there's also someone else involved in it. And it goes from there. It's not a 5-star read for me because the beginning and the ending. So the beginning was a lot of flowery language for children. I don't think that children in 1975 thought or talked like that, and there was a lot of like run-on sentences, and it bothered me. It was really hard to get through the first like 80 pages. After that, it did pick up. The ending was satisfying. I liked it. I was hoping for something different because it was giving me vibes of another character that I really, really like, and I don't want to see that character in case like you've also read the book. Well, he was giving like Billy Summers vibes throughout the whole book. I don't think a lot of people have read that book, but you should if you haven't. It's a Stephen King book, and it's very, very good. But Patch was giving Billy Summers the whole time. Sorry, this fly. Get out of here. I need my fly swatter. Anyway, make sure we're still recording. Yeah. And like, he was a great character. I really, really love the characters in this book. The ending was fine. Like, with the beginning part, I maybe would have given it like a 4.25 or a 4.5, but then the ending just wasn't quite what I wanted, and the book was just about, I don't know, 150 pages, way too long. So it was just a really long book, but I did like it. And if you don't mind like reading a really long book, and whatever, the mystery was really good. I did not know what was going to happen. So yeah, I liked it. 4 stars. That was my challenge book for the month, by the way. That was the #1 book that was published, added to the most Goodreads shelves in 2024 of June 2024. That is always hard for me to say. I don't know why I can't just spit that out sometimes. All right, last book that I read of the 8 was Children of the Fallen Gods by Carissa Broadbent. This is the sequel to Daughter of No Worlds. It's the middle book in that trilogy. I think it's called The War of Lost Hearts. And it was, again, really, really long. It was like over 600 pages, and I barely finished it. I finished it, I think, on the 30th. Yeah. There was definitely parts where I could have been like, okay, the book's over. Nope. Definitely not even close. A lot happened. It was not a filler book. I feel like this is a series that probably could have benefit from being 4 or 5 books instead of just 3. I haven't read the last one yet, but I assume it's going to be long and a lot of stuff is going to happen, because the ending was what? The ending definitely like leaves a lot open of what could happen next, and I'm very curious to see what happens. But I mean, it was good. I think I gave it 3.5 stars, so not as good as the first one I thought, but definitely still like a good story. It was just really, really long, and I feel like it could have been more than 1 book, if that makes sense. Like, I would have liked to take a break in between it, you know. It took a long time to read as well. What day did I start that? I started it on the 14th of June and didn't finish it until the 30th. So, and it was 636 pages, and I got it off of Kindle Unlimited, and it was also free on Audible with a subscription, so I did it both ways. But yeah, that was the 8 books that I read this month. So I read The One, Watermoon, Sidetracked, The Sirens, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Murder by Memory, and Children of the Fallen Gods. Where's my stats? Because I think I would love to like tell you guys some stats. Usually I don't like generally do this already, but I kind of like make the notes for my reading journal and then whatever. But I read 8 books, which was 2,742 pages with an average rating of 3.44 stars. And my highest rated was 3 stars. My lowest rated was 3 stars. My highest rated was 4 stars, and Murder by Memory was 100 pages, and then Children of the Fallen Gods was 636 pages. So I think I read a few more or less pages than the previous month. Let me see actually if I can go back and look at the notes and just quickly tell you. This is kind of my notes that I used for like everything. Let's see. Reading challenges. Let's see. 2,643 pages I read last month, and 2,742. So I actually read more pages this month, even though I felt like it was less, because I read like a lot of shorter books. But I guess like, you know, The One is over 400, Watermoon is 372, 331 for The Sirens, 592, 636. So lots of pages, lots of books. But I read more books last month. I read 9 last month. I don't know. It averaged out somehow. But anyway, that is my review for the books that I read in the month of June. What did you read? What are you reading in July? Check out my TBR. I'm just taking off on the challenges. I'm doing the deck of TBR-a-thon. So check that out. I'll try to remember to link that down below. That's what I'm reading or listening to my next breath for. Because I got a nonfiction book, and you get 5 points if you pull a king and read a nonfiction. So that's what I'm doing. I'm on the red team. I'm also going to be starting Herkyed 2. I'm starting Herkyed 2 now. And then I'm also working on the 52 book club reading challenge, summer reading challenge, which is like a connections reading challenge. And I'll have a vlog coming out for that soon. I'm almost done with the 3rd book, which I am reading right now, which I'll just show you right here. Confessions of Franny Langton. I'm on page 96 and I'm enjoying it. It's good. It's definitely out of my comfort zone, kind of. It's about a Jamaican woman who immigrates to London in 1825 and then is accused of murder, and it's like her backstory plus you're kind of trying to figure out, did she actually do it? So pretty good so far. And we'll count for some good points in Herkyed because it is going to be like a Jamaican author and set in Jamaica as well. So BIPOC author plus around the world. I think those are the prompts I'm going to be using it for in Herkyed 2. I think I might do an intro video to that. I'll probably do like recaps each month for Herkyed 2. I've never done it before. I didn't think I was gonna do it, and then I just keep looking at other people's videos and I'm like, fear of missing out, so I'm doing it. But that is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Check out my TBR if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.